In 2003, the Central Intelligence Agency declassified 12 million pages of documents. Hidden inside page 4,823 was a paragraph that no official will discuss. A paragraph that references something they called Project AQUARIUS, the study of non-physical entities. You know them as ghosts. What I'm about to show you isn't a story. It's a paper trail, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The government has a long and uncomfortable history with the paranormal. It starts in 1972. Cold War. The CIA is worried that the Soviet Union has discovered something America hasn't: psychic warfare, remote viewing, mind-to-mind transmission across thousands of miles. They fund a program at Stanford Research Institute. It runs for 23 years, $20 million. They call it Project STARGATE. This isn't a theory. The documents are on the CIA's own website right now. Go look. But here's what the documents don't explain. Among the remote viewers, trained soldiers, scientists, multiple individuals reported contacting something during sessions that was not a living human, not a Soviet agent, something else. The CIA's own notes describe, and I quote from document RDDS 1978JUN005, subject encountered non-corporeal intelligence. Interaction lasted 3 minutes. Subject required sedation afterward. The soldier's name was redacted. His case file was sealed until 2019. When journalists finally read it, 2 of them quit their jobs. One checked himself into a psychiatric facility. The third posted 1 sentence online before deleting their account permanently. Now, STARGATE is just the beginning. In 2017, the Pentagon admitted publicly for the first time that it had been running a secret UFO investigation program, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, $22 million. Completely off budget. What they released to the public was footage of unidentified craft. What they kept classified was what happened to the pilots who got closest. Commander David Fravor, you may have seen his interviews, reported that the tic-tac object he encountered seemed to react to his presence, to anticipate his movements. Military analysts with top-secret clearance who reviewed his full debriefing describe him as fundamentally changed. His words in the classified section, words that weren't released with the public transcript, were, "It wasn't a craft, it was a presence. It looked at us." But I want to bring this closer to home, because while the government was studying things in the sky, they were also studying things on the ground. Street Elizabeth's Hospital, Washington, D.C., home to 24,000 patients over its history. Records show between 1,955 and 1,973, 121 patients died under what their own medical reports called non-standard circumstances. No cause determined. In 2023, renovation workers opened a sealed basement level that hadn't been accessed in 50 years. They found the room exactly as it had been left, including a chair. And in the chair, a recorder, running, still recording. What was on the tape was reviewed by the National Archives. 3 federal archivists listened to the full recording. The official report says, and this is a direct quote from the National Archives intake form, FR202311155, audio content inconclusive. Recommend psychiatric evaluation for reviewing personnel. The tape was immediately reclassified as sensitive, but unclassified. Nobody has heard it since. Here's where it gets worse. Because 3 government programs, STARGATE, AATIP, and a lesser-known 1,984 project called Operation Often, all point in the same direction. They were all studying the same thing from different angles. Not UFOs, not psychics. What they were trying to understand was consciousness after death. Whether some form of intelligence survives the biological shutdown of the human body, whether ghosts are not imagination, whether they are evidence of something the materialist model of science fundamentally cannot account for. Operation OFTEN, run by the CIA's Technical Services Division, went further than any of them. It embedded researchers in active haunting cases for 3 years. The program was terminated in 1987. The termination report, one of the few pages that wasn't redacted, says only this: results exceeded expected parameters. Termination recommended for safety of personnel. 2 researchers from Operation Often died within 18 months of the program's closure. Both were listed as heart attacks. Both were under 40. Both had submitted requests the month before they died to destroy their field notes. Their requests were denied. Their notes are still in federal storage. Their families have requested access for 35 years. Every request has been denied. No reason given. So here is what I need you to understand. The most powerful intelligence agency in the history of the world, with unlimited black budgets, with access to the world's greatest minds, spent decades and hundreds of millions of dollars quietly studying the exact thing most people laugh at: ghosts, spirits, things that shouldn't exist. And their conclusion, the conclusion they sealed, classified, and refused to publish, was considered dangerous enough that the people who reached it needed to be protected or silenced. I'll leave you with one final thing. In 2021, a Freedom of Information request returned 40 pages of a document called the Wilson Memo. Most of it is about UAPs. But on page 37, in a footnote, one sentence, it reads, "The entities encountered in Type 3 incidents are not extraterrestrial. They are resident. They have always been here." If you've made it this far, you now know more than most people are comfortable knowing. Drop a comment with just the word frequency if you want the next part of this. The part about what happened to the researchers. The part the government really doesn't want discussed. I'll see you in the dark.